Still sick. Hello everybody, I'm Sol, I'm a geek and I'm Hispanic, and today we'll start this video kind of with a story time. So there I was, walking in Target. I came here for just a pencil, now I have 10 things. Wait, what is that? The Aladdin live action novelization. Oh my gosh, it's a novelization, so this is full of spoilers. No, you can't do this, remember? You want to be surprised for once, you know? Okay, if I just read one page, just to get it... No, if you started, you want to finish it all. Okay, but just one page. Okay, no, this line was from the trailer. I gotta know what's gonna happen. Oh my gosh. Maybe if I just read half of it. Yeah. Temptation. Hey, I tried for like a second, okay? I've seen this in the past with the Beauty and the Beast one. I almost purchased it, but I was like, do I want the spoilers? Do I not? Should I be surprised? You should know this about me. I am a sucker for spoilers. I try my best to avoid them, but I find them and then I get mad at myself because like, wow, you're not gonna be a surprise or you're not gonna have the experience, but yada yada. And I feel like no one is talking about this and I don't understand why. Maybe they are smart and they want to be surprised unlike me, but the thing is, I read this thing. And let me tell you something before I start this. What do I think of the original Aladdin movie and what do I feel about this new upcoming live action? Original Aladdin. Growing up, I did like the movie, but I always had a problem with it. I always liked the music, I always liked the humor, but there was something as a child that I couldn't quite get that I didn't fully liked. And then, as I grew up, I realized that I just wasn't a fan of how Aladdin is pretty much a compulsive liar. And I've always gotten mad about the idea that he's starting his relationship with Jasmine lying. And I'm like, that's not the way you start a relationship. Or ever in a relationship. It's like, you're supposed to be honest with each other. I know, it's super silly, but that's something that has always kind of bothered me about this story. But again, I think it's fantastic film, but plot-wise, and there were some characters and plot situations that always kind of, I feel like, I don't know how I feel about that. How I felt about this Aladdin live action. So when the first trailer came out, but I was so disappointed. Everything looked blue, everything looked so like, you know, like that last Harry Potter movies where everything was just like one color, and it was like, how does the Cave of Wonder, the place that's supposed to be the most like, you know, wow place full of riches and gold, looks blue. This looks like the live action Little Mermaid. I was mad. But then, as the new trailer started coming, I was like, okay, yes. I think the casting is fantastic. Yes, at first I was hesitant about Naomi Scott because I was like, I don't know about this and that, but from what I hear, she's like one of the best parts of the film, and she can sing, and from what I've seen from the trailers, I love her acting so far. Like, I love how natural it comes, and I just love it. So, to be honest, the live action Aladdin is my most anticipated movie of the entire year. I know, a lot of people are like, yeah, Endgame and this and that. Not a huge fan of Marvel, sorry. I don't know why. Have I been a huge fan of live action? There have been some that I liked more than others, but I think it's quite fascinating seeing the characters you've seen in 2D, kind of see them in a new perspective for a new generation. So I'm not against live actions. I find them intriguing. Definitely some work better than others, but that's all I have to say as of now. Now let's jump right into this. On this video, I'm actually not going to give you spoilers because the film hasn't come out yet. Now, this is a novelization of the live action movie, so I hope that everything inside this book is in the movie, but am I 100% sure of that? Not really. Now, from what I've read, every dialogue that has been in the trailers, it's on this book. The whole, well, if you've seen the trailers, you know what I'm talking about. Even the genie jokes, everything that everyone has spoken in the trailers, it's here. Let me tell you, I've seen every single trailer multiple times, so I'm sure of that. I'm gonna talk about like generic stuff. I'm not gonna go into detail things and stuff like that because the movie hasn't come out yet, and first. I don't know if the movie's gonna be like that or not, but let me tell you something. I think it's really good to read this before watching the movie, because you, in a book, you get to read the mind of the characters they describe to you. So Aladdin is thinking this and that at the moment, and Jasmine is this. In the movie, you won't get that. If you do, it might be a little weird. So I think it's also interesting to have that in mind before going to the movie, because maybe when you see the movie, it's like, oh, he's thinking about this while this is happening, because you read that in the book, and you get to appreciate the scene, I think, a little bit more. So that's what I'm gonna say about it. I feel great about reading this book. To be honest, when I started reading it, I was like, I'm just gonna read half of it, and then I'm gonna be surprised by the other half. As I kept going, I couldn't put it down. I read it so fast. I was like, what's happening next? Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. Wow, this and that. I loved this book. And I can tell myself, okay, I'm gonna keep at least the last chapter as a surprise. I couldn't. It's just, and I don't regret it, to be honest. Maybe just a little bit. But I'm gonna tell you, I love this. And if the live action is just like this, I'm gonna absolutely love it. Now, I know a lot of visual things like that might change my mind, but let me tell you something. There's changes in the original story, and they're all, I think, for the better. I think they all make so much sense, and something they really work on is to make each character have more depth, and each character has more of an arc. And let me tell you something, Jasmine was already a badass character in the original one. In this one, whole new level. Yes. The only thing that's kind of funny in this book when you're reading is that, you know, you can clearly tell that they're about to do the Prince Ali number, and there's no music, so you kind of read what is happening, and it's like, this is weird without music. And it happens like that with the other songs in the movie, but that's the only weird thing I would say. But I just want to say this, probably my favorite part about this book, is the interactions with Jasmine and Aladdin. I don't want to give too much away, but I'm going to say this. Something that I didn't fully love about the original Aladdin was that they kind of, I'm just going to quote Elsa right here.
Fine. You can't marry a man you just met.
So I just feel like they met too fast and fell in love too fast, which I know every Disney film's like that. I get it. But I'm gonna give you an example. The live action Beauty and the Beast, although it has many flaws, one thing that I did really like was that you got to see more interactions between the Beast and Belle, and so it felt more natural and fluid, and it flowed better. I'm giving too many of the same words, but you know what I'm trying to say. It just feels more natural. It doesn't feel as forced as the original one. And that's what I liked about this. There's definitely way more interactions, and I hope they keep them all in the movie, because each and one of them, I feel it's very important. And there's one that made me blush. I swear, I feel like a 13-year-old girl reading this. I was like, ah, that was so cute. I just love this. There's this scene that is a bit different from the movie. Absolutely loved it. Again, I don't want to give anything more away, but again, all the plot holes or the plot problems that I did find in the original film, they're all solved, they're all explained here, which I love. There was only one thing I didn't like in this version, that I would change, something to do with the ending part and something in the beginning. I don't want to give anything away, but I would have just changed that. But everything else I absolutely love, and this book made me even more excited. Because again, I was very excited about the film already, but part of me was like, oh, you know, you were really excited about Beauty and the Beast, and then you didn't end up loving it. Will this happen? For me, since I didn't fully love the original one, I wasn't going with like, oh, they're gonna ruin my childhood. First of all, people who say this live action is ruining their childhoods, like, I don't get that, honestly. Like, I don't, that's a whole another video. But I didn't mind them doing changes to the source material, because I didn't fully love the source material. So I feel like every single change, which they are quite a bit, but it's just everything feels right, if that makes sense. And I couldn't recommend this more. I think it's absolutely fun, brilliant. I hope they keep everything. that's in the book. I don't know how that happened. And what I think it's so great that definitely this film is going to be longer than the original one, because from what I can see, there's so much explanation of characters, from why can Jasmine go out. There's more to it. Small characters like the Sultan, you get to feel more for him, you understand him a little bit more. The only character I feel like they kind of cut a little bit was Jafar, which everyone's like, I don't like the casting in Jafar. Everyone wants it to be kind of creepy, and I totally agree, because the first time I saw the trailer I was like, why is Jafar being so like nice and looking like my neighbor that like I would give him like, I don't know, sugar if he needed it. Like, I don't know, I trust this guy, he doesn't seem scary. So I think the reason why he looks like that, maybe the director was going in that direction, that like they wanted someone, you know, because like why would they have someone that looks clearly as someone like crazy and have them in such a high rank position? Maybe I would rather have someone more scary looking, but I can understand why they did that. But again, it's so fun. Oh, something very interesting I want to bring up. I did not like the Broadway show of the Aladdin one. I know everyone loves it, everyone raves about it, but I don't like the story, how it's done in the Broadway show. I think they take out a lot of amazing characters, and I just don't like the flow of the story. And there are things I do enjoy, like the song Proud of Your Boy, but other things not so much. I feel like out of everything I've seen so far, this is the best telling of the Aladdin story. Now there will be many comments saying, oh, there's nothing gonna be better than the original one and this and that, and I get it, everyone has their own opinion. If you like the original one better, that's awesome. But from what I read, I think this one is the one that each character is pushed to just have more development. And honestly, from what I read from the Genie, I know a lot of people are like worried about it. From the dialogue that I've seen and that I've read from this book, he's really funny. But we also have to add that a lot of the visual stuff that is going to be given with the animation is going to add so much more. So I think honestly Will Smith is going to be great in that role. From what I've seen in the trailers, he's so natural. I love the line where Aladdin is telling him, oh, she's a princess, and he's like, aren't they all? So I don't know, I just think he's gonna be different definitely from Robin Williams, but I think it's better to do his own version than trying to copy such an iconic thing, right? So I think it's a very smart choice. Again, I could talk about very specific stuff, but since the movie's not out, I don't think it's fair or cool to talk about these things. So I'm just gonna wait to watch the movie, and then I'm gonna also compare it and how similar is it to the novelization. Something about this is very cheesy though. Like, if you don't like cheesy stuff, I am a very cheesy person. If you don't like that, you might not like this script. There's a lot of very cheesy romantic stuff. But again, everyone has their own, you know, their own opinion about that, so that's completely cool. If you don't like that kind of stuff, that's completely fine. But you know, at first I was hesitant about this movie because of Guy Ritchie. I was like, I don't know, but the more I see, the more trailers I see, the more I'm absolutely loving it. I can't wait. It's only a couple days away, 20 days I think. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I just really hope I don't get disappointed, and you'll get a review for that movie for sure. So those were all my thoughts. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye!